Hey, ladies and gents, just wanted to hop on real quick before you guys hear the Wednesday Wisdom, as I like to call it, edition of A Different View. There was a story that I was talking about concerning an old job of mine, and um, for the sake of legality, we're not going to name names and all that kind of thing. However, in having a conversation with the young folks there, um, at the time, I told them the story as such. When you're dealing with customers, because again, we have created an environment for greed to reign supreme. You know why workers have, and we mentioned this in earlier episodes, like especially during the holiday time, and it happens all the time. It just doesn't happen. It's heightened. It's like it's on steroids during the holiday time, but it happens all the time. The workers are treated like such trash by customers because again, greed dictates that the worker don't see again. You hear certain misnomers. I'm really glad I get to finally talk about it. Stupid stuff like, well, this you wouldn't have a job if we. So what you mean to say is that the worker wouldn't have a job if you weren't a messy slob. Is that what you mean to tell people? Is this what we're telling folks? Certain things like this. They cry and whine about it. And it's funny, they'll sit there and tell you how complain is a bad thing, and yet they're complaining the whole time and getting what they want, guys. See, people are just not Lord, people not paying attention. They're not paying attention. Guess what? If the customer of whom is paying the money, to which they say you wouldn't have a job without him and all that kind of thing, which all the time we're just disrespecting the balance of the relationship. Again, employer needs employee, just like employee needs employer, just like customer needs both. But see, when you start doing this disrespectful mess, now nobody, and you're greedy and everything, now you get nothing. That's another. See, greed has pushed this thing, and you've seen a whole bunch of businesses close all over the place, right? A couple articles, or an article a couple of years ago, you had FedEx closing down a bunch of places. You've seen J.C. Penney close down a bunch of places, Macy closing. Name all of them. Name on, whichever ones you want to name. Guys, when you follow down the road of greed, there is no end to the destruction you will see. It's like a wildfire that starts out in the forest, and if you don't catch it, that thing will just take up the whole forest. It's for real, y'all. This thing for real. And you and your babies and your family is the forest of which that fire is burning through. I'm sorry. You better not put that at the feet of the homosexual. You better not put this garbage that y'all seeing at the feet of the transgender. Stop doing that mess. See, again, blame your government for using people as bargaining chips for them to get more money. This is the point. So I told these young men and women, I said, hey, and again, I like to break things down, y'all. So this was nothing disrespectful for people, because again, we know the defense is in the mind. This was nothing disrespectful because I talk like we talk on the block, folks. I don't do the cookie cutter. We don't talk like that. It ain't helping nobody. Okay, this is 2024. You sitting there talking like it's 1925. It ain't gonna work. Not unless you relate it till today. Okay. I told them you got to be like a high-priced hoe when it comes to dealing with these people. We're not just bending over and bending backwards and giving them everything they want. And you got to pay money. You got to pay that good money, and you better sit there and treat that girl right, that boy right, huh? We all know folk getting their freak on out there. See, I said we're gonna get into sex. We're gonna have a couple episodes here where we get into this sex thing, because it's time to stop. Time to be free indeed, whom the Son has set free. Hey, it's free indeed, man. And it is time to let go a lot of this mess. It really is. Again, let's be responsible. Let's be respectful. Let's be kind and upright toward people. But this mess of captivity, and you can't do none of these 89 million things, and no. Not here, not on this platform. Maybe y'all want to go listen to all this other rhetoric they telling you on other platforms, so be it. But here, guys, you're not going to hear that from me. You're not going to hear that from me. So, again, it's the kind of thing where you got to pay the piper, okay? The worker is paying the piper, because Lord knows they ain't getting paid what they supposed to. Jesus. Man, and the only way it's gonna happen, folks, is when y'all band together. Y'all think a lot of these things and organizations and representation is bad and you poo-poo it on it. You need it because again, they got theirs. They already got theirs, man. And you talk about the retail game, they got that law and they'll shove it right down your throat. This what do they call it? What do they call it? At will employment. Bunch of garbage. You are talk about a forest fire. You just kindling wood on the fire, man. And that ain't right. You got men and women's lives. They got kids just like everybody else, just like the boss. That's their boss. Got a family. Now, how you gonna sit? Nah, never mind. Again, as I always say, y'all, when we get it, we'll finally get it. And until then, we ain't got it yet. So, there's a few things I wanted to clarify there before y'all hear the episode. And we will talk to you soon. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to another episode of A Different View. Today's topic, last time that we left off, we were talking about dressing and keeping the planet, humans' responsibility. From the great creator, the great designer, God, as we have placed a title on that deity of deities, okay? To dress and keep the planet. That is humans' directive, the human initiative. The purpose. So we talked to y'all last time, excuse me, where I was talking to a buddy of mine about how to find your purpose. Just a subject title of purpose. It's right there, y'all. It's right there. This thing is not mystical. When I tell you that this is very simple and plain and people have made it complicated, we're going to get into an article here because, again, we're making a very simple and plain thing complicated. And there are, again, direct speech, specific speech, and generalized or congregationalized speech, where you're speaking out to the masses or you're speaking to one group of people specifically. And from now, I've already done it, but it'll be more pointed as we go on in this walk, in this journey of life on this podcast, y'all. Because that's where a lot of the problems are. The purpose of humanity, every person in their own way. Now, the other side of this is where you got to get into grindstone here, and you got, and this is what I told this young brother. Smart person. See, we keep ourselves around people that are constantly thinking, y'all. I got no more time for folks who are okay on autopilot. Everybody is. And that's another thing. This ain't got nothing to do with hate. We're going to reiterate from something that we read here. Because, again, one of these defenses in the mind, we do this pseudo-offense where everything, you hate this person. Nah, I ain't got no hate for nobody. We're walking in the same directive as my creator. You love folks, but you pay attention to the game. Because you don't. The idea is for you not to get hurt. The idea is for you not to get hurt and to protect other people. See, again, dress and keep it. There's got to be a level of defense here. Okay, and that you don't have to be violent and stuff like that about it. But the one thing y'all will know on this podcast is that we're going to speak the truth. We want to speak the truth of the thing. It just so happens the article that we read would have been perfect into Black History Month, but as things happen, these things are so magically, I'll say it that way, come out right after Black History Month, which is fine because, again, when you're talking about human history is every day. So there's no month, these are things that are regulated and recognized by human governments. This is not this. Again, your history of who you are is continuing whether or not it's regulated by a government or not. Hence why they made Black History Month. But I digress. Your purpose, ladies and gentlemen, is to help dress. Let's just reiterate some things here because lest we forget. This is a directive from the Creator to do things lest we forget, right? So let's bring back something to the remembrance. The word dress. Oops. The word dress, as is talked about in Genesis 2, decorate. Now again, put on one's clothes. This is just, you just look online. You just type in dress meaning. Normally for most of the stuff I do, I'm either saying dress meaning or dress etymology, whatever the word is, that's what I'm doing. Decorate something in an artistic way or attractive way. So what you're supposed to do on this planet is decorate it in a way that is artistic or attractive. Now, last time we talked about how people need to stop being so territorial with music because it is something that is in part of the planet, right? It is an art form. Art. All the different parts of the globe. See, the idea has been the denial of certain folks on this globe. And that's where the problems have been, and the denial of those people has been because of greed. See, again, when you are sharing the thing, you realize there's more power when you have everybody. You start seeing views of everybody. So we see what it looks like with the Aboriginals in Australia. We see what it looks like with the Asian people in Asia. You see what it looks like to the island people, whether they be East Indies or West Indies, right? From the continent of India, obviously from Africa, from Europe, okay? See, again, the problem has been in the impropriety or the break it down a little further, just the downright, to many levels, damn near sinister. And I'm sorry, ladies and gents, we're going to be very pointed today. We're going to talk like mama and daddy used to talk, because we all act like mama and daddy, what we call cuss words. Now, again, we broke down cursing on this podcast. Cursing where you want somebody to have a bad day. Okay. Wishing things into their life. Bad language, as they say, or I should say adult language is really how we should say it. It's really how we should talk, y'all. But that's besides the point. Again, when adults are in the room, which is why you have your kids leave, right? Anyway, when you haven't, we got to come down on the ground level. See, this is why I said we put that explicit thing in here, because I'm got to talk on certain people's level here. Downright sadistic, horrible ways of treating people. And that sadist term, we're going to get into that here when we start talking about sex. I'm taking a little break here from the relationship thing. I got one more. We're going to probably leave it at 10. I'm not going crazy with it. But as a result, we're just going to break away from the status quo, right, on this podcast, which is this series. So there's just a little spinoff, like a TV show. In an artistic or attractive way. So the planet, not only artistic, but also it should look good. This is why stop making fun of your folks who are dealing in environmentalistic stuff. See, again, can you go too far on something? Yes. But should we pay attention to this planet we're using? Absolutely. From the metals to the grass, the plants, the animals. Here's another side note, right? Humans will put there to dress and keep it, right? This is what we're talking about. So if you're dressing and keeping the planet, what else would you have to dress and keep in order to keep and dress a thing? That'd have to be the people, wouldn't it? We have made such high sins in the heavens, y'all, on this earth, man. It is horrible. And then you wonder why life I keep saying it. You wonder why you see life the way you see it. You can't treat people the way we've been doing it. That ain't how is that? How is negating certain people, not giving them certain credit where it's due? We got baseball season coming up, y'all. See, again, when Major League Baseball gonna make a whole lot of money off the backs. I know how they spin the story to you, and see, sports is a good distraction, right? They make a lot of money off the backs of the so-called Black and the Latin brothers of society. Lord, it's horrible. It's horrible to watch, man. It is. It is when you start seeing certain things. Fun game, awesome. But again, like when we talk about commodities and stuff, whenever humans get involved in the thing, and it goes sideways. It just goes sideways. The more that you learn about the Negro Leagues, the more it's heartbreaking, man. See, again, come out from among them and be ye separate. Do not be unequally. We talked about this on a previous episode. Do not be unequally yoked with those who do not believe. You believe a certain thing and somebody else don't, man. Again, don't. It's cool for y'all to believe a thing, but don't get yoked to them. See, in these contracts and these deals and all the words they use that yoke a person, where you are plowing the proverbial field together, you got to have something similar with me before we get involved in stuff like that. This is why they tell you with certain business deals. Now, again, understand business is competition, right? But let's break down that word a little bit more. Things where you're making money with folks, you got to be careful which folks you're picking. This is the same thing in life. See, we're talking relationships, right? There's a proper way of how we do it. Let's go backwards here for 2 seconds. That's why we got y'all's ear, right? So we're talking about relationship. The word etymology started in the 1640s. The sense or state of being related by kindred, affinity, or another alliance. You got to have the same belief type of thing here. And when one is trying to hurt or subdue the other, there is no alliance in that. There's no affinity. There's no kindred in that. This is what's bad when you got what I call bought Negroes, because the term that is bought Negroes, house Negroes, yes men. Another old school word was straw bosses. When you got people who think they've made it up the ladder a little bit, they got a little sauce, they got a little money in the bag, they instead of riding in the beater car, you got just a little bit better than the beater car, and you feel good about it because, again, you don't really know what real wealth looks like. Your boss do. And you sell your soul, no different than Jesus. And we're getting closer to Easter, y'all. So we're gonna go hard with it. We're gonna go hard with it, because again, they killed the revolutionary, y'all. I don't know how else telling y'all that, man. You tell me Jesus loved little children? Oh yes, Jesus do, man. Y'all have no idea. And again, I don't need to rah-rah for the Son of God. That's not the point. God is good without me saying a thing. But it is right to say a thing just the same. And that's the stuff people keep skipping. Again, it's supposed to look attractive. So that's dress, right? That's just the definition. You get into the etymology of the word, it starts dealing with putting something straight, arranging and preparing a thing. Hey, y'all, it's time to arrange. Hey. Whew, it's time to arrange. And in some of these cases with dressing, you got to rearrange and see, again, put straight to the crit. Now, the Bible talks about how certain things, the road is made straight. Making straight the crooked places. That's the way it says it in the Bible, y'all. Hey. Woo! Another thing while we talking about this, shout out one time to the women, man. We in March, y'all. This is Women's History Month, huh? We talking about another history. Oh, why we gotta have a Women's History Month? Oh, I know why. Because the men said screw the women. Literally. Hey, man, we can't. Oh boy, man, you can. Ugh. Oh boy. Okay, so we just talked about this. Whoops. Typed it in backwards. Actually, let me go back one more time here just to make sure we got, so. So Isaiah 45. Okay. We're just talking about where you got to arrange, you got to dress. Okay. We ain't even gotten to keep. We're going to go. Again, repetition is necessary for learning. Thus saith the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus. Again, you're dealing with hierarchy in Israel. Excuse me. At the time of a whole lot of mess going on in Israel. See, again, I re-reference a thing that people kind of break away from because of belief being said incorrectly inside of religions in the world. Specifically this one when we're talking with Judaistic stuff, Christian stuff, because the two kind of coincide. Also, so does Islam. Okay. The Abrahamic faiths, as they are called, because they're all half brothers and brought in Gentile, a word meaning goim, which means just not Jewish. Something y'all can all look up. It's a little nugget there. Okay. Goim spelled Goyim. Okay. How you got to operate, what's got to happen. See, again, life goes out of course, guys. That's the natural thing. You've got entropy and then you got creation, and then it goes into entropy and create. It's the constant rebuilding off the death. Okay. And this is how it is. So when we avoid doing the rebuilding part, there is a problem there. There is a problem there. Thus saith the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose hand I have holden to subdue nations before him. And I will loose the loins of kings, to open before him two leaved gates, or levied gates, and the gate shall not be shut. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass, and cut in sunder the bars of iron. Pause. It's see again, dress. God is the one that dressed this thing to begin with and then put it to us to keep dressing it. Because there's a level of undressing and you got to put the dress back on. Okay. Oh man. It's very, when you look at the word, let's see, do we have keep still here? Let's see if I left. Yeah. To keep it, of course, have a retained possession. Greedy folks real good with that one. Yeah. What do I get? Cause to continue in a specified condition, position, or course. And this is where people need to start learning life, because there is a certain course that the planet has been put on. Not the one you think or were taught it was. There is a certain course of action that's going on. There's just a certain course of action. Specified condition or position. A specified condition, position, or course. Keep food, clothes, and other essentials for living. You use it in the phrase like working overtime to earn his keep, his possessions, her possessions. Let's just be honest with this whole her mess. Again, guys, you need help. Speaking specifically to the men, you need help. This is coming from you need help. I know that chauvinistic machismo garbage they have shoved down your throat. You need help. You can't do it on your own. Never mind. And the quicker we drop it, the easier this becomes. The more in tune you become with that which is your partner. Someone who provides aid and assistance, an entity made of their own. Let's be honest here. Before Adam named the person, what did God do? Take from man's body and make a brand new person. Come on now. She is of herself, made by the goddess of goddesses. Y'all, come on now. We can see further than what they're telling you. You want to talk about purpose? You got to go seek and you will find. Put yourself in the spot. And again, separate to find it out, because you ain't going to find it inside the collective, because the collective is too tainted. So let's get into this article. So we just dropped that nugget on y'all. We're just going to get into this article here, because again, we keep repeating a thing we should not, and we have screwed the pooches as a result. So Syracuse.com. Syracuse.com. Let me just do this here. Sorry, computer's doing what computers do. Right in the middle of when you need something to work. The headline reads, New York governor chooses Syracuse leader to examine slavery reparations. Subquote inside the headline, this is long overdue. This was published on March 1st. Again, like I said, funny how just right after, you got 29 days because of a leap year, and all of a sudden it just come out this day. Now, again, you go backwards, you realize that Katherine Hochul, who was the New York governor, she has already had this in the works at the end of last year, something I hadn't talked about. I had just found out about it. Again, I'm from New York, but some things, again, sometimes you need to unplug, y'all. You need, because some of the information is really, when we break this down, we're just going to break it down real quick. There are some people who want a thing and some people who don't. It is the same thing in learning the truth. Some people want to stay in the status quo and some do not. So much of this is kind of a moot point. Understand, guys, that if you do not restitute that which was dehumanized, to say the least, as a society that needs those people, because again, we all function as one here, in separate pockets, all still functioning as one. When you damage that and don't repair it, you're screwing yourself. Again, this is the way that the Creator has made it. We're talking dress and keep. Bringing arrangement, bringing repair. This is the point, y'all. Hey. And again, you can't dress and keep the planet. You can't put it in a decorated in an artistic or attractive way. You can't keep. Let's see, old word. Sipan looks like keep. You can't care for or attend to something, right? You can't preserve something, as the etymology of the word keep goes, from loss or decay, if you're not actually preserving and keeping safe. Lord, see, again, people just don't want to do a thing. So they come out with all this stuff. The whole of fabric will be destroyed as we know it. Everybody's going to be displaced and stuff. Now, meanwhile, while y'all playing the little hacky sack hopscotch game here, we're doing restitution and reparations, as the word goes, for people. Again, we're talking monetary repair here. While you're still playing that game, guess what's happening on the other side? And this doesn't have to do with Republican or Democratic. Again, we're not doing an election day one this year because people are going to be too distracted, but we will drop little notes here and there. Understand the Republican Party was Democratic Party back in the day and vice versa. That's something historically you can look online. Now, with that being said, the same thought processes are the same between the two, y'all. So when you vote for the other one, realize the other one wants to screw you. When you vote for one, they want to screw you. When you vote for the other one, the whole idea is more for them, less for you. So it doesn't matter which one you vote for. This is just the truth, guys. And again, and gals, y'all can take it for what it is. But this is why when you go for one, you get a little bit here, but then the rest of everybody is messed up. You go for the other one, you get a little bit over there, and different policies and words and catchphrases they use, but it's all in different laws, policies, laws, all the same word terminology. At the end of the little pockets, because again, we're talking about an equivocal language, so they like to play around with the words. This is how you keep the game rolling, okay? Yeah, you got to make restitution here, guys. I mean, it's just, now, to my black brothers and sisters is this point. Okay, you worried about how you get treated. in your places of employment. Again, we understand the game is meant to screw folks, okay? We get it. You are tired of that. It is time for us to take. They keep talking about how much money we spend every year. It's time to take that money, stop spending it there, and start spending it in our communities. See, don't let them lie to you, telling you, oh, hey, if you don't do this here, this, that, and the other is going to happen. And one of the things in this article talks about how the racial divide will continue if reparations is done. Do you see, again, people playing on the thing because they know folks is dumb out there. They know they don't know anything. They know they're illiterate. We talked about that, I believe, last episode before. They know you're illiterate to that which is the society built around you. The society that has been built around you, many people are illiterate too because they're hiding the knowledge of it. No different than they were hiding the knowledge of the slaves. And New York is one of the high places of it. California is one of the high places of it. Again, realize that even though they're showing you a thing, and we said this last time, when you start seeing things about homosexuality, when you see things about transgender stuff, when you see things about those so-called black folks, when you see all these different things, many times they're not genuine in what they're showing. They're showing it for one thing, to get something from you. And we can go into various examples of it, but I'm going to leave it alone. We're just going to let the thought cook for a second before we go further, right? Again, y'all got backburn. We got mental backburners. You got to have a big stove for this stuff, man. And the mind is a powerful thing. You can have many backburners on this. If you're done on the stuff, it's time to come away. This is no disrespect to nobody. It's about preservation. Again, dress and keep. And anybody who's about it, come on down. You the next contestant on Let's Be Free. Let's be free together, y'all. Leave this greedy garbage they talking about, man, because it's not for you. The little piece they give you. See, again, Jesus killed. We just getting in. Not Jesus killed. Judas put up Jesus for death for 30 pieces of some money. That's it. Is that all it takes to kill life? In an old job I used to have back in the day, y'all. I was talking, it just kicking game to the youth, man, because this has been me now for a long time. When they come around, customers, because again, the garbage that has been built in is that, hey, customer is right. Now they took Gandhi's statement way out of context, which we'll get into that down the road here, because again, the workplace is a thing that must be addressed. It's another relationship. Your relationship between your employer and you is another relationship. And historically, it's been a pretty poor one. So much so, God had to be involved and inspire people to put certain verses in there to make sure that the employer does not misuse their employee. Back then, it used to be master and slave. So again, this whole slavery thing is a horrible thing. I don't care which form they use. Don't give me the indentured servitude thing. None of that garbage. Again, you have debts you owe. You pay them off. Again, the Bible tells you to owe no person anything but to love them. So you will incur debts. You pay them off. You keep it moving. This idea where it's like you're holding folks back. Again, nobody lost the Civil War. Who won was the folks who made sure they killed off people to hide their sins of what they were going to do during the Reconstruction period, which would still keep this thing slighted to the folks who stole the land from the beginning when they were scouting it out in the 1400s. Just saying, y'all. Okay? They send Spain and again, England, everybody all together there. So they send Columbus. He is clearly, we've already seen from history, he's a little bit of a moron because he doesn't know the difference between islands and stuff, which is saying what it is. Okay, even if you wanted to put human error in there, okay, fine. He still didn't know where it was. Okay, then you make over a whole acquisition. Again, you got to understand the difference between words of old world and new world. Why was England coming? People will tell you England was bustling. Okay, if England was bustling, then leave this mess alone. You don't need it. No, they used up their resources. They had to come some way to get more, because that's exactly what happens throughout human history. It is the reason why there are colony packs in Africa that they're trying to break away from France. Where they got to, again, we talked about this on our podcast. Time to stop the facade, y'all. It's time to stop the facade. Now, again, as I was saying to my black brothers and sisters, don't wait on no check from the government. Again, the thing is meant to screw you. Take your money and start build around your barbershops and stuff that's out here in this nation, y'all. The bedrock of black community. We just talking what it is. Because see, again, Latin folks have already got it. They got their bodegas and everything, and they done built their community around it. Come on now. Come on. Asian people have built their stuff around their different, what we call Chinese food stores and other places. They got whole things. Selling clothes, knockoff clothes, all this kinds of stuff, y'all. When you look to the Negro Leagues, talking about baseball, man, again, they were doing fine. Started off rough? Yeah, it started off rough. So what? Everything starts off rough. Once it picked up steam, though, guess who came calling for them black folks? The same Negroes they call them. All the death threats Jackie Robinson got and all that garbage. Guess who they came calling for, y'all? Because they can't do it on their own. See, again, life ain't meant for you to do it on your own. You need help. And again, as long as people want to stay stuck to that mindset, let them go on and let you go on. Same thing with your friends and stuff. You know, we were going to get into certain things here, but you know, again, we got time to talk to each other. we got time. I still got breath in my body. We still got time to talk to each other, y'all. But just understand when it comes to this reparations thing, y'all, the idea is that people either want it or they don't. And you hear all the talk around it is just one big old diuretic, manure, smelly filled verbal dissertation, if I can just break it down in that. You know what I mean? It's just people verbally that's all what it is. The truth is, there is so many contributions from music to art to healthcare, building things. I had a chance to talk to a bunch of brothers while I was getting my hair cut over my birthday weekend here that we were talking about. There's just so much. Again, you either want to say yeah, or you're gonna say no. That's all this is. That's all this is. But before they get you one check, because again, the money check, that's cute and all, but the fabric of life that the so-called black person has been giving, guys, it's more than just a check they can see. This is what we're talking about with the native. They get mad at the casinos and stuff. Hello. It's like watching Back to the Future with Biff and Marty McFly. Hello, McFly. Hello, just knocking on. Hello. Hello, McFly. You home? People just, and again, that's why I say DID is the thing, man. People are disassociating themselves from things, making a whole other reality. And again, they can do real good for the Japanese, and you know, and we talking about folks, black folks ain't been harming nobody. Yeah, you put us in the ghetto and manufacture certain things here so that now over time people develop improper behavioral habits. Yeah, it's okay. Ain't the first time that's happened in history. You can go back in England in the 1200s when you had Christians fighting each other and you got Anglo-Saxon and Norman and all this mess all over the place, man. Yo, improper behavioral habits been happening for a long time in human history. Can't use that as an excuse to continue to hurt folks or not do right by them. Yeah, no. So that's what I mean, y'all. Gotta come away. They want to stay stuck to a thing. That's all right. That's their business. You gotta come away. So, I mean, that's really it. You know, we're probably going to do a little thing here. We're probably going to do a little bit more spinoff, just some side notes on. It's really not anything in the series. on relationships and stuff, because we're just gonna have talking points on some certain things. One of them is gonna be sex, because here on this podcast, y'all, I'm kind of done watching the weird happy dance we keep doing with sex. Again, there's certain things y'all are okay with doing in the bedroom or the bathroom or your garage. Out in the yard, and don't, hey. Again, be wise. Okay? And we're just saying, right? Show some of that good gray matter logic that the good Lord has blessed you with. But y'all have fun in the process. I mean, that's really just broken down right there, y'all. I don't know how. Again, and it's two different sides to it. People will say and then folks like me say it's all right. Again, you've done many trees in the Garden of Eden for us to enjoy, and sexual pleasure is one of them. And we're supposed to do it responsibly, y'all. There is like every other pleasure down here. And we break down some words and stuff as we go along, just to give context to what folks is talking about, because this is where it gets screwed up, is in the words and phrases. So, thank y'all for walking on this little itty bitty journey here with me today. I love y'all. Thank you for your support. Again, one time shout out to Women's History Month. As we continue throughout this month, we coming up on International Women all across the world. The female, the feminine, powerful energy in this planet. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise, because they lying to you based in the deception of division that was put in their mind between men and women. So yeah, shout out one time to the women. Shout out one time to Spotify for podcasters for allowing me and many other folks like me on this platform to be able to speak the truth on things, because again, the word don't get out there unless you let the word get out there. That's and in one way or another it gets out, as we have seen throughout human history. So thank y'all for joining me on this journey. I love y'all. God bless y'all. And as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.